All right, hello everybody. We are just setting some stuff up here. I think this scene better, I think. All right, so welcome on into everybody. We're live streaming. This is episode 6 of our daytime streams, a series where I highlight different projects that I'm working on. I'm preparing to start a new career and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do it in. And so I thought I would document some of this journey here and showcase some of my different talents that I can do and also learn some new things as well. And I see that Tina is lurking and got to get to the office. Yeah, have a safe drive in this morning. Thank you for lurking and being a part of the community. Thank you for everybody else who's lurking. We are live streaming this on YouTube because a lot of the highlights features of Twitch streams are going away this year. So I want there to be a version of it that can exist forever on YouTube. And then also we're streaming on my personal Facebook page and also on Kick as well. So a bunch of different platforms that you can catch us on. We last time we were finishing up a Scuba edit. We're going to take this edit and turn it into a few different projects. We're going to make some reels out of it to practice some of our vertical editing skills and also taking footage and creating highlights and reels out of it for people who want just shorter things to consume across different social media platforms. This full video is going to be put on my YouTube channel. I was thinking about doing it this past weekend. I didn't get around to it, but I think I might post it tomorrow, actually. But I thought I would play a little bit of it right now, and then I will show you guys how I take this long form video and make two shorter ones out of it. Hey, welcome on in, Eddie Brown. Yeah, I was just explaining that unfortunately I'm going to have to start a new career here. So I'm trying to figure out what the next steps are, but I thought I would showcase some video editing skills today, and then in future ones I might learn some new skills. I want to practice on Canva some more. There's a lot of advanced features that I want to try out on that. I also want to just learn a bunch of different skills live on stream. I know that Procreate is really popular. I know that our friend the Stream Scribe does a lot of great stuff with Procreate, and so I want to practice doing some of that stuff as I try to figure out the next career. I worked for my old school for 15 years, which was an incredible experience. But I think it's time to move on and try something new. I haven't tried anything new in 15 years, as I said, and so it's a great opportunity to try a bunch of different stuff. For sure. So Pokemon in chat if anyone wants to catch it over on Twitch. And yeah, so, and if anyone has any questions about the video editing or any comments or whatever, feel free to let me know and I'm happy to answer them. Just gonna quickly blow my nose before I start, but I'm gonna mute you guys for a second. We're back. All right. So we were talking about this video edit right here. So this is the latest project that we were working on. So the last couple, or many of the daytime streams over the last 2 weeks have been focused on creating this, as well as not this past yesterday's podcast, but the podcast before, a week from Monday, if you're watching this back. We did one with Carlos where I was going through some of this footage as well. So, yeah, New Horizons to look over. Yeah, I figure 40 is a good time to start a new career, right? I can have plenty of time to work my way into it, and I did it for 15 years. It was a really good run of what I was working on, and maybe I do graphic design and videography again. Maybe I do photography, which is part of it. Maybe I go, 11 years earlier, I was a teacher. I also did IT work in the past, so I might go back into one of those as well. screen share is not showing the full screen. Is there a way to do it where it's in between size? Hold on. Okay. I thought, because you guys aren't seeing the full screen share, because when it goes full screen, it changes. Let me see if I actually change this. Can I turn this to full screen? Huh. Alright. Playing around with Zoom settings to see if I can change how some of it works. If I do that and then I do this, does it make it better? You do see more of the screen if I do that. Okay, good to know. There's a grouper here. Really small shrimps that my dad gets some incredible photos of. So these are my dad's photos. So if people are watching this for the first time, this is part 9 of the dive series that I did, or 9 of the Grand Cayman vlog series I did. 8 of them are scuba diving videos. Each one features different songs by Dan Tremblay. Let me see, I'll do the Dan command. Grouper, I hardly knew her. Welcome in, Wondera Music. Some of you guys have heard this story. So basically, my dad is an underwater photographer. I've shot underwater video for the last 10 years. And so this is the footage that I shot in our 11th dive of the trip. And the first 8 parts of the movie are up there. I studied in college interactive film design with the idea of sort of choose your own adventure. And one of the things that I really love about YouTube is you have title cards and you can choose where you want to go from at the end of the video. So at the end of each of the previous videos, you can either go to the next part of this story or go to another scuba video of the over 50 videos I have on my channel that is a related topic that might be interesting. So I kind of like the idea that you can navigate through the world underwater through my videos, but not necessarily in a linear story path. So definitely check out Dan Tremblay. I love this album, Sunset Echoes, and I was listening to it while I was shooting these videos, and so we actually include every song on Sunset Echoes in sort of, well, 8 of the 9 movies will be scuba movies. There's one that was a family vlog, but if you take that family vlog out, the other 8 videos kind of tell the visual components to the music of this album, and we include all, I believe it was 10 tracks of the album in there. So these are the last 2 tracks here of the album, and each one will be turned into its own reel, right? So that's what I'm going to showcase today. Just going to make sure that I've got enough hard drive space to do this. I think that I do. So we're going to create a new project here. And we're going to do it as a vertical video. I'm going to do it at a pretty high rate, and let me just move some graphics around. And so we're going to do this as part 1 reel. And so we have this resolution and we have a vertical reel now. So what we can do is we can take this first part of this timeline all the way up to right before this. So this will be perfect right to there. And we're going to copy it and we're going to put it over here and we're going to paste it. With the idea is now we have a horizontal, all of my favorite footage. So we took an hour of footage and we already narrowed it down to the best 10 minutes, right? And then each one of those 10 minutes tells two stories. So there's kind of a part one and a part two to this final part of the video. So each one has a different song representing it. So I'm now taking the first song, okay, the ninth track of the album, and the beginning of this dive, and we're just going to take a look at some of this footage by itself. Now, this was all done when I was resizing it with sort of the horizontal space in mind, but we can now take it and you could see that I shot it in this sort of full style, and with that we have a lot more height here. So in the last time you saw this shot, it was getting cut off, but it was a wider shot. But in this, so for example here, we'll go back just as an example. See over here, it's a wider shot. But when you're doing a reel, it's got to be a vertical shot, right? So what you can do is you can retime it though. Actually, this stays in frame pretty well all the way through, so we're not going to need to. But I could reposition the footage and move it within the space here to fit the story better. Let's just take a quick look at how this footage looks by itself, because this is such a long shot, and if we're taking this whole video, which is 5 minutes long, and we want it to be a 2 to 3 minute reel, we're going to have to do a lot of cuts. And also the story had to be in order for the YouTube video because I'm kind of telling the journey. But for the Instagram reel, which is what we're building right now, or I also posted on our TikTok as well, it's got to be short and it's got to be the best moments and it's got to be like quick hits and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to feature as much as my dad's photography in it, for example. It might just be more of these sort of shots. I just kind of have to look through it and see what the best things are in this video. So, so I guess we can do is why don't we play it through and I can start to play with some of the shapes of these videos so that way they fill this new frame a little bit better. So already we can see that we're gonna not need this title card. Oops, wrong one. Okay, this one. And then we're gonna have this, but it's also gonna have to be much smaller. So let me go into here, hit this button. Oops, I thought, let me fix something. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm making it so it fits within the frame a little bit better. But I don't know if we're going to start with the same opening shot either. So, but we'll see. So I don't know if I'm gonna probably take out this photos by part here. I don't usually title stuff like that in this. I also think I'm gonna just take away all my dad's photos and have this just be a video. Just fix a couple of things on here. This is going away. conflicted. I do like some of these shots though. I don't think I needed those first ones, but this is gonna be too long. This is such a long shot. There's no way we can keep all of it. Just because it by itself would be its own reel. And maybe that's really what we focus on. Maybe that is the reel. And I'm just going to flip through and see. I mean, I do like the grouper. There is something nice about those shrimp, but I don't know if it tells that story. We have, I don't think we keep this. Back to the ray. Maybe the video is the ray in what we're really focusing on. Because we do come back to the ray a bunch of times. Oh, there is a cool lobster here. There's so much good footage. I just, I know we can't feature it all. And that's kind of the point. Like, that's why if people want to see the everything, they can definitely take a look at the full-length video. I do love the masked Hamlets, but I just don't think we have enough time to tell that story too. And maybe I use the masked Hamlets as part of the other one. Kind of a cool fish, but I think we're just gonna have to make some big cuts here. So. These pictures are so awesome. But I think that the pictures and the behind the scenes story, that is you have to watch the full length documentary for that. So I think I am gonna go with my gut and take away all these pictures, even though some of these are really fantastic. I honestly think I may take out the whole shrimp section and just really make this focus more in on. The grouper is cool, but I think we're just gonna do something more just about the stingray, like maybe a couple other animals, but just have this clip really focus in on that, because that seems to be the majority of the footage anyway, and I think that makes the most sense. Alright, so we're gonna up this scale a little bit. We're gonna move this over. See, what sucks is I like my dad being in the same shot, and with vertical reels, we're not gonna be able to see it as much. So I wonder if, like, I either want my dad to be in the shot with it or just to focus on the ray. I feel like it's distracting just to have like a little bit of camera and focusing on the ray. So I think I may just, my dad will come into the shot later, but you just kind of don't see him initially. All right, so we're gonna scale this up a little bit. Zoom in and then see how that looks. I'm keeping this little shot of a lobster to sort of break up the stingray, I think. But we will see if I keep that. All right, where are we at now with this timeline? Oh, we're doing so much better. Just taking out just that kind of gave it the whole video some shape. 232. Just trying to see how long the other ones were in my series, so that way that they can kind of match.
Okay, as far as
Just give me 1 second. Welcome on in, Firestone Rockstrums. We are just doing a little bit of a video edit. Yeah, so the other ones were just under 3 minutes, so we might be in a good space now. I think, yeah, I'm adding some stuff back in, and I'm gonna redelete it because there's some stuff that I deleted before that now that I know that that our target is 3 minutes. There's some stuff I can pull back, so I'm gonna keep some of these shots. Also keep that one. I think we should end it with the ray going off into the distance. I think that's a really smart ending spot. All right, I think we're getting into a good spot. Let's see how this goes. And you guys aren't seeing the full length because it's so tall, but I mean, you're getting a majority of it. So I just want you guys to get a sense that there'll be a little bit more information above and below. But I try to keep within a reel the main information towards the middle of the shot because I think that's where it catches your eyes, either the middle or just slightly above the middle, right? Because you're trying to draw people in. The very bottom and the very top of the frame doesn't really matter as much. And so sometimes I'll even let it have black, as you can see here. I mean, I might zoom in more, but we'll see. So the name of the dive is under it, but it's out of the title safe here. So I like it so far. I want to pull it back just a little bit. I'd like to see where it's going and less of where it's been. So you'll see it's a very slight difference, but I think it'll help the story. brought this shot back. That fish, the Spanish hogfish, means a lot to me and my family. Me and Liz, whenever we dive, we see it, and it our wedding colors. It's purple and yellow, so it's kind of symbolic. So I'm just kind of happy, even if it's just for a brief moment. I think it adds something at least personal for me, which even if it's like an Easter egg. So right now, I'm doing a creative idea, and if anyone has thoughts on it in chat, they can feel free to chime in. I'm leaving a little bit of black bars at the top and the bottom for some of these shots because the other option is you can still zoom in more, right? So you don't have that, but then I feel like you lose a bit of the information on the peripheries. So I don't know. I feel like you gain a lot more width when you have a little bit of black space above and below, see? And now you can get more of the information of the area around it. And to me, it doesn't really bother me because it kind of fades out and you can still focus on that. But I can understand having shots that change over time could be potentially jarring. So it's something I'm, trying to weigh the options of on whether or not I think it would be too much of a bother. People aren't going to necessarily be scrubbing through it like this, but these are the considerations that I have to make when switching to a more vertical format, which is, the more popular format, and these videos have done much better since I've produced them vertically. But at the same time, I like the longer story time for the longer YouTube videos personally. But I understand that my target audience and who I am as a creator could be potentially two different things. And so those are things that you have to kind of take into consideration when you're producing video content. See, because I love that we get more information around it. For example, this shot could look like that, right? Where it's more zoomed in. Or it's this. We get more of the tail, more of this, more of the area around it. It's also technically higher resolution because I'm zooming in less. Pretty good. All right. So one of the advantages is because I've already shot just the best moments and cut it down for the last one. If I even already took some of those moments away, this should be the best of the best. Some of my stories that I've done as reels, I've shot it out of order, where I've taken maybe the coolest thing, like an octopus that was at the end of the nighttime video, and threw it at the beginning because I know people's attention span, you're trying to draw them in initially, right? And they don't really care the order of the creatures that I saw. I do like doing it for the full length video in order. First of all, it's easier to edit that way. But second, like, I love to be able to relive these stories with my family that went on the dives with me or with my wife, and so it's kind of fun to be able to be like, oh, you saw this, then this, then this, because the chance of me going back through all of this raw footage, I have like terabytes of raw footage of scuba diving, is I'm not going to go through it. This has already been the best parts, and what's great is, yeah, hopefully other people get to enjoy these videos as well. They can learn about the world underwater, take an adventure. I know so many people I've talked to said it's very calm to watch. They use them for meditation. It's peaceful with dance music. So there's a lot of, once you put art into this world, you don't know necessarily how it's going to be received or what it's going to be received. Some of my scuba videos have done much better than others. Some have had 10 views, some have had 1,000 views. And so Some people like recs, and sometimes you'll go to the same rec again, and it's less popular the next time. Maybe the algorithm picked it up for one reason or another, right? So it's hard to tell with creation for YouTube. That's why I create so many YouTube videos with the idea that it's kind of it's a time capsule for my children and my family to see our lives, but also an opportunity for me to continue to edit and try new techniques with each project. So even though I've done three of these now full-length documentary films underwater, each one kind of is edited differently, has different information in it. Some of them are more like pop-up videos with like fun facts. Some of them, this one's been a much more clean edit where there's just not a lot of titles and text, and I'm just trying to have you be immersed in the world underwater, right? 'Cause adding information about the things you're seeing kind of takes you out of the immersion experience, right? So these are all sorts of things that we consider as we continue to edit through this. Also, I realized that a lot of my videos and especially my live videos are often shot at times where people can't watch. I want to create videos and time capsules for people to go back and maybe learn some skills or maybe learn how to use, Final Cut, which is my favorite video editor. I have used Premiere and other things as well, but I don't know, something about this structure that I've always loved. I love their effects. They have really good ones. They also have really good, they all do use keys to change the visual over time. They call it keyframes. And so you can change the scale of things, you can change the spacing of things, you can crop stuff over time, which you can do on all platforms. But I've just always really liked how Final Cut has organized it and done it. And I'm a fan of even just iMovie. It's a very simplistic editing, but it does the trick. And for many different linear stories that I've told over the years, I can just pick up my phone, use iMovie, do it on any computer kind of situation. The Final Cut does give you a lot more features, mostly because you can have stacked timelines, right? So you can stack a lot of things on top of each other. So to create this title at the end of this video, for example, we have text here, this thing flies in, this graphic is a screenshot of his of one of his pages, his Bandcamp, and then the top here is a screenshot of his website, so that way it's consistent with his branding. And then I pulled in a graphic from his YouTube channel, so that way, even though that he didn't create it, it's sort of consistent to the branding. That. I just realized that this was off. Anyway, I have to re-render this video. Yeah, this is on. His face was coming in on the end of that last shot. I do like this shot that is ending where I put the cap on and it just kind of ends it, right? It's kind of a popular thing that vloggers do, but I was doing it with a color cap. It's not an actual, so this lens right here is actually what's on my camera from most of these dives, because you lose the color red when you're at depth, and so you add a red filter in when you're diving, especially in the ocean, because that red color is designed for the specific salinity. Also, it helps because light gets refracted through water, so you lose certain colors, and it helps to actually add those colors back in. Means I have to do less color correction in post-production, which I know how to do, but it obviously takes a lot longer, especially if you're going to color correct each one of these video clips potentially differently, which you could do. And I could still, even if I wanted to, go through and touch this up and make it more sepia tone or make it more dramatic or add some vibrance to it and stuff like that. But I do kind of like showcasing it. The new GoPro 12 has good white balance, and I kind of keeping everything the same and letting the camera make some of the decisions for it. I mean, there are reasons why you might not want to do that as well. And you can kind of see the lighting. Obviously, my dad's camera, which has two strobes, takes a very different effect and stuff like that. So. Sorry, my cat was messing up one of my things, so I had to move him. All right, I'm gonna scale this actually down a little bit more and make it almost like a square shot and really kind of play up these sides. I mean, if I'm gonna do it, so right now I'm going through the footage and I'm trying to decide whether or not I think zooming in and getting rid of these black bars on any one of these or making it smaller or larger is going to change stuff like that. Welcome on in, champ. It was nice having a great conversation with Champ yesterday. And thank you for doing your command. I appreciate it. Um, I have watched highlights of Raw. I've not watched the whole thing, but I do know what happened with the title change at the end now that you had referenced before. But yeah, no, we had a good conversation about the Elimination Chamber, and we talked about lots of different stuff yesterday, and so we whether we not you were like soccer, DC United. We talked a little basketball, some football stuff, and in the first hour talked a lot of hockey. So Io Sky is now a Triple Crown winner after winning the women's world title last night. So Triple Crown, is that in just WWE or is that across multiple platforms? I don't know what the Triple Crown in the women's is. So, but let us know. That's a cool fun fact. I think she deserved it, although I like Rhea more than her personally. But I understand that it's good for business to have the title change hands sometimes. So, it's not my favorite isn't the person who should always be on top, right? I think that a lot of wrestling fans get that confused sometimes, where they get so invested in their favorite that they're like, "Oh, it's not fair." But the reality is, for the brand, it's important to showcase different people. So, all right. So, she was the NXT World Champion, the WWE Women's Champion, and now the Women's World Champion. Got it. Cool. So she's all, I see it now, all three different belts. I'm gonna grab something real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, Eddie, yes, looking good, Robbie. I have to go do some work. Have a great day, buddy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for tuning in and being a part of this. And hopefully, I'll see you around. I think the next daytime stream I'm doing will be on Friday. it's either at some. I start between 9 and 10 usually, and try to end between 11 and 12. So try to do 90-minute streams. Not nothing too long, but just showcase a couple of different projects I'm working on. And yeah, I'm super happy to have you here. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. So I thought I had a edit command. There you go. All right, back to the video. I like it. I'm pretty happy with that reel. I might do some slight adjustments to it, but I'm pretty overall happy with this. I think I like that shot, but unfortunately I think it's got too much black space around it, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna shorten this shot just a little bit. There you go, and that should bring the total runtime to just under 3 minutes. Perfect. All right. So that is the first one. And then we have a second story here. So that starts here, goes to there. Shift. Oops. So I'm just trying to grab all the right footage. All right, we are going to make a new project. All right, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna add this to the vertical timeline again. Perfect. All right. And okay. All right, so this thing is 5 minutes and 17 seconds, and we're going to try to bring it down to 3 minutes. So, trying to decide, just going through here, what stories we're going to tell. So, obviously, I think we're going to take away a lot of the photographs again to sort of match it up, and then if people want to see the photos, they can obviously check the full, or different idea. I've done this before. Let me stack some of this footage. So let me go over here. So. What we could do is, you'll see here is I have. Hmm. I'm trying to see right here. So some of these shots were moving in frame, which was fine when it was horizontal, but now it obviously changes the look of it here. But I do love that shot. I almost wonder if there's something I can do in this negative space. Maybe it's not there, maybe it's here. Alright, so let's go over here. Zoom in more. And so I'm taking out all of the key points right now because I had keyed it for a very specific frame to move it within. And so now I'm taking some of these shots and we are going to change how they're viewed. If I do that, I can take these and put these back over here and we'll deal with those. So taking out all the keyframes now, and now we're just gonna zoom in, and then I might even zoom more at different times. So alright, so we're taking this position and we're gonna move it over time. So now we're gonna take it and we're gonna center him. So what's cool about doing this when you zoom in and you're moving around the camera is you can kind of tell a little bit of a different story than just the wide shot that I shot initially. So I can sort of focus. Where are we at now in this timeline? All right, so we're at 4:18. Perfect. So we need to take about another minute of footage out of this whole thing. So really love that shot. We got that's kind of cool. I don't know, we feature lobsters a lot in the other video, and they're more interesting. And part of me is thinking I'll probably just take that one out. So we can get to the squids quicker. I still want to figure out where I want. All right, so if I were to take this footage and put it all the way up here, let's say. All right, maybe I zoom in initially. And then starting here, this is the position and this is the scale. And then I'm going to zoom out and put it here. And I can feature some of my dad's photography down below. Okay, so each one of these could last a little bit longer. take out. There's a middle position point that appeared. Ace, I'm uploading my stream footage to YouTube like crazy. Otherwise, Twitch is going to delete them forever. Yeah, I don't think it's happening until April. Just so you know, it's not like it. Yeah, um, yeah, I just send whole videos over to YouTube or download onto a computer. You can also download them onto a hard drive if you want to keep them for later. But I totally understand that. But welcome on in, Ace Kaltor. I'm just trying to fix some of this positioning stuff here. Alright, we still gotta take a minute of footage off this, which is a lot. So I think we're gonna have to cut some of this guy. I don't know if we need to hold this for as long. I do like most of that. I like this guy. Oh wait, there's these pictures here. Alright, I'm just going through and trying to take away all this extra footage that we don't need. Alright, that helped a lot. Alright, we're now down to 308. So I love this guy, and I know how important he is to the story for me, but I don't think he's the most interesting thing for a lot of other people. So I'm gonna flip that and put that towards the end. kind of also feel the same thing about these two shots. So this is what I was talking about, how I don't know if it necessarily needs to be in the same order that it happened for these reels. So I always want something that's really good that's sort of like the lead in. I don't want to start necessarily with the squids, but I definitely, maybe I do. Do I? Things to think about. All right, let's see what happens if I do start with the squid and how that sort of changes the story. Okay. Fine. All right, this shot needs to be zoomed in more. I'll let that render for a second. Oh, thank you everyone for being a part of this. We're gonna be finishing up stream here in just a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna finish editing this, hopefully down to about 3 minutes, and then we'll probably call it about there. But thank you guys for being a part of this stream. It's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate all the lurkers and people joining us from all over. And yeah, it's been a fun stream. And just taking a look at who's streaming right now. I think I'll probably figure my raid target out, but I'm just taking a quick look. Alright, yeah, I think I figured out who I'm going to raid. Cool. Alright. So I'll probably release the first reel tomorrow to showcase that we have the full video out, and then I'll probably work on this reel maybe a little bit more over the weekend, and then release it over the weekend or next week as sort of an addendum video. So this is way too long here. I don't think we need all of this information. do. Fade out here. Perfect. Nailed it. All right. All right, let's watch it one more time through. I'm going to take some notes. And yeah, then we're going to write out. Cool, that's better. Welcome on in, Psychopath. And yeah, it's so nice to have everyone lurking and hanging out while we do this stream here. We're just finishing up this reel that I'm making. Hopefully, I can release this weekend. Cool. I'm pretty happy with how that all turned out. Um, yes, thank you guys, everyone, for being here. I think with that, we're going to raid out to my friend Willie San Music, and yeah, we'll be back on on Friday. I think it's either somewhere time between either 9 or 10 o'clock, and I'll do another 90-minute stream. This one was a little bit shorter, but I got both video projects done, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, it's been a good stream. I appreciate everyone. Nice on PTO on Friday, so I'll be here. Nice, awesome, awesome. Looking forward to it, Champ. Yeah, everyone go check out Champ. And yeah, he does a great job on the True No Spots podcast. You can go catch him there. Also, you can catch the VOD from yesterday's show. I don't know if Adrian got to see it yesterday, but we covered the shootout live. Exciting hockey victory. Then we talked a bunch of other sports, including wrestling and basketball and soccer and football and stuff like that. So it was a fun show last night, 2 hours long. We had a lot of guests on. We had Anna and Gil on. They were fantastic for the hockey segment. It was very stressful because we're up 3-0. Then they come back, tie 3-3. We go up 4-3. They tie it at the very end of the game. They take a bad penalty in overtime. I thought we were doomed. We fought it off and we beat them 1-0 in the shootout. And a very exciting game. Ends our longest losing streak of the season, a 3-game losing streak. The Capitals are doing fantastic this year. They're this far into the year before they're having their first 3-game losing streak. So we talk about that with Anna and Gil, all live reactions, and then Champ joins along with Sith, and I'll do the Sith command as well. Also, I may as well do Gil and Anna's commands as well. Go check them out. In addition to that, and then at the end of the show, we had Tim and Arun join us. We talked a couple other sports, and then Champ and I finished it off. So yeah, thank you guys all for being a part of this broadcast. It's been a lot of fun, and if you can go back and check out any of our other Scuba ones, I got Tim and Arun both on the show, so you can go check out that VOD. Adrian, it's on my YouTube. It's also on the Facebook page for the sports podcast and stuff like that. Yeah, happy belated birthday to Arun. Yeah, it was a fun show. A lot of great people on. And next week, a little shout out for next Monday's show. We are going to be celebrating 9 years of the podcast. 9-year celebration, 9-year stream anniversary. It's going to start 9 hours of streaming, a kickoff that I'm doing all week long. Part of the projects on Friday is I'm going to figure out how to make a counter to count down from 9 hours to put on the stream as well. So we'll be celebrating 9 hours of streaming for 9 years, going into the next week as well, and then continuing on our day stream. So next week will also be the end of season 9, and then in April we'll pick up season 10 as we feature Ovechkin and his chase to be the greatest goal scorer of all time. He's only 11 away now. And if he does get it between now and or between the end of season 9 and the beginning of season 10, I will do a pop-up stream to celebrate that as well as doing some of these art streams and stuff like that. Ted says, edit that video. Welcome on in, Ted. Yeah, we just finished creating this reel. So tomorrow we will be launching this full-length video. It's a 10-minute video of the last dive. And then I'll also release part 1 of the reels tomorrow to celebrate that on Instagram. And then part 2 will come later in the week. And then I'll also post all these videos on TikTok, delayed. TikTok's getting them a couple weeks after Instagram is. So I still think there's one that I've created for Instagram that never made it on TikTok. So that'll go up first, and then these other ones will follow suit on TikTok. So, yeah, definitely come and join me on Friday as we might make some final tweaks to this video. We're going to learn how to do a counter. We're going to have a just chatting stream. We may even play some video games. It'll be a fun little show on Friday. And then again, our 9-year stream anniversary spectacular begins next Monday at 9 p.m., and we will continue that all week long after that. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'm going to do the raid over to Willie Sound Music. If you want to grab a raid call, you can do that. And you can grab one of these. Yeah, ignore the shark emote. I wish that I had made that one a tier 1. If you happen to have the 1K bit badge, you can use the shark one. And anyway, so you can grab your raid call, and we're going to go join Willie, a mod over there. So we'll go say hello to him. For that, thank you for being a part of this video editing stream. It's our 4th video editing stream as part of this, and thank you Champ for modding. Thank you Tina and Firestone and all the people that were lurking, and thank you to Adrian as well, and Psychopath, and anybody else who's out there. Appreciate it. We'll be back on Friday, and maybe a pop-up stream in between. Who knows? And keep the notifications turned on. And we're going to head out right now. Thank you guys for all of the support. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have the next couple of days are fantastic as well. And we will talk to you guys all soon.